Hello, good afternoon, traders. This is Baha Pips. Today is Monday, October 30th, 2023, 12:07 p.m. Eastern China Time. And today I'm going to be doing my weekly technical breakdown across the Forex, crypto, and stock market. Also, be able to break down some indexes as well. So, bear with me for about 20 to 30 minutes as I go over everything. And I'm going to start with the Forex screener. Then I'm going to go on to the news of the week, just so we can avoid certain type of impactful news events that may manipulate the market conditions. Once we do that, I'm going to get into the charts where I'm going to look for some technicals and break down potential setups that I do see for the week ahead. So as of now, I don't have anything on my watch list because last week was a very slow, sideways type of week. There was not much to trade last week, and the conditions were non-favorable for the most part. So I stood out of the markets, and I actually took some time off. So I day traded for about 20 to 30 minutes a day, and I didn't even trade Friday because the conditions were so bad. And yeah, that was my week. So it was actually a fairly slow week. And there could be a lot of factors behind that, but I'm not a fundamentalist. I trade purely technicals. I have fundamentals included in my analysis for certain events. But other than that, I do look at technicals. Right now, we're going to go into the screener, and I'm going to look at pretty much, I want to go and click on this right here. You can see I have a lot of filters. I want to place my technical ratings. I want to just click this button right here. So now I can see everything based on the bias, and I want to look for strong pairs. So I want to look for strong movers because that's going to just take out a lot of the noise. And if I'm already great at my technical patterns, I don't need to trade everything. I just need to trade the best things. So let's look at the best pairs. These are all buys, and I don't see any strong buys. And there's some neutral pairs. I don't want to touch those as a swing trade. And there's some sells, but there's no strong sells. So that's literally the entire market, at least for Forex. So down, scrolling down, GBP Euro, I believe that's the last one. Yeah, okay. So as of now, there's no strong buys nor no strong sells. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just look at the majors, and that will also help. So I'm going to click on change. And the same thing. I want to look for the biggest changes in the past 24 hours over the weekend. And so we have AUD-CHF, NZD-CHF. I'm going to take a look at the Swiss franc pairs. We also have NZD-Euro. If you have MT5 or MT4, it's Euro-NZD. That's also a big mover. And those are the biggest movers. AUD-CHF, Euro-NZD. What else? We have NZD-USD. It's another mover. Okay. And AUD-CAD. Maybe if you want to add some JPYs, we can look at some JPYs. We have AUD-JPY, NZD-JPY. And that's it. That's all I really need to look at right now. Now I'm going to go to the news. So here we have the week ahead. And here's the economic calendar. I'm just going to take a look at the economic calendar to see if I have any interest rates coming up, central bank meetings, or non-farm payrolls. Of course, there's no non-farm payroll right now, but there will be non-farm this week. This is the first Friday of the month this week. Let's see. Today, you can pause this video. You can also go to myfxbook.com, go click on the economic calendar, look at this yourself. This is just me going on a quick rundown. I like to see the next 48 hours just so I could avoid those type of and CPI is also one thing. This is going to be in Italy. It's not the Eurozone, so not a big deal. But there's CPI in one day. So tomorrow, when I am day trading, I'm going to have to look out for this. I don't like trading before CPI. This is happening at 18 o'clock. So my time is going to be about 6 p.m. I may have to wait to trade the US session. Like I said, historically, every time I trade CPI before the announcements, there's a lot of chop, there's a lot of low volatility, or they're just not the greatest conditions. So I avoid trading CPI before the release. Tomorrow is a CPI release. So for day trading the Euro USD and most pairs, I would wait until after the release. So no trading in the London session tomorrow, but I will trade the US session. Okay, and then there's a bank holiday on Wednesday. So no trading for me during the Euro session on Wednesday, but I may be able to trade US session if there's no US bank holiday. For my students that are watching this, take note, especially you guys and you ladies, take note because this is what you need to do at the beginning of every week. This is mandatory standard practice of mine. I've gotten to the point where this is second nature. I log in, I have to check this before looking at the charts. Like I said, fundamentals are also relevant to me, but they're not as important. This is my fundamentals. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the release. All I care about is the specific releases on the specific times of the day. I would be careful. But other than that, I don't care about the numbers. It can be whatever. I react to the markets. I do not predict. A lot of fundamentalists, what they like to do is they predict. They're like, okay, this is a major driver. This is the numbers. I expect this to happen for the next few weeks, few days, few months, because this news is a catalyst that pushes the markets and whatever. You hear how I just sounded? That is fundamentalist. I am highly against that. I do not predict. My trading is completely the opposite. I react. If you look at my day trading videos, I day trade daily, and you can see all my trades are based off of reactions to the market. And if I am literally posting day by day results and I'm showing y'all months of data, that should show something. And those of you that want to actually take a look at my most recent day trading charts and results, I have it all under my section. You can go to 1minutetraders.com. Link will be below in the description. And you could also click on that, go to the Forex stock tab, and see all of my recent videos. I record live in real time, so you can actually see how I trade. And if you are agreeing with that, then hit me up, send me an email if you want to learn more. But let's get back to it. There's not too much to interrupt my swings for this week, and I will be trading if I find a setup. So the news is out the way. I looked at my Forex screener. Let's get to the charts. All right, so now I have a chart, I have my MT4 pulled up. And let me get this up to the tools. Okay, so MT4 is pulled up. Y'all can see everything that I'm looking at. AUD USD, we can get started on that. I want to do it from a macro. Look at that first, and then I'll go into potential setups. This was on the screener for major movers. I don't really see much. I don't really like this. I can already tell it is not a deal for me. I'm going to leave this one alone. And for a while, I thought it was my internet that was not working well, but this is really just how slow the market is moving. I tried to refresh my page. I tried a few different things. I tried resetting the Wi-Fi, and I was like, wait, why is the market not moving that much? And it's just really not that favorable right now, and there's not much I can say about this. It's just I will stay out of this. I refreshed this many times, and I do pull up my crosshair. Y'all can see we are on the current day, 30th of October, and this is the data that I'm getting. So not favorable at all. This is what I would consider a congested range. Price pretty much try to break monthly lows, and it did not happen. And right now we are in between a larger range, and we're at the bottom. For me, there is no setup. I have certain patterns that I trade on a regular, and there's no setups, and we are just at the bottom of a longer term range been going on since August 8th. And I don't really know when that range is going to break. But at this point, I'm going to stay away from AUD USD. I won't even look down into the smaller time frames to find setups because if I don't see a good setup on the daily, then more than likely we're going to continue to chop. But let's take a look at NZDCHF. NZDCHF, the Kiwi franc on the daily, we can see that price had a nice run. I'll highlight that with the trendline tool. It had a nice potential run. It was running down south until we reached the lower end of this uptrend that's been going on since August. And we bounced off of that lower end trend, and now we are on our way up. Do I see a possible trade set up for this? Well, one or two things could happen. It could bounce from the lower end of its range since we do have a false breakout, and we could see a move towards the upside, and that is a possible RB pattern. So, if I did want to trade this, I would be looking for a possible RB. The problem with this possible RB is that there's no trigger yet on the daily, and therefore I don't want to trade this. I like to see clean patterns, and this is kind of pushing it. Long story short, if my patterns are not aligning up exactly the way I like it, I tend to leave it alone. By the way, yes, the market is moving. It's been at 52,604 for a little while now, but it is moving. It's just that slow right now for some reason. Um, I don't control the markets, but you can see that on the left side, the markets are moving. Things are extremely slow. And if I look at the 5 minute now, 6006, 05, it is moving. Just very slow right now. And yeah, I don't have when I put control Y so I can see the parameters, it has been pretty bullish for the day. But then I orientate my Y axis, try to get it to daily orientation. We can see that it's been chopping up, pretty much going sideways since middle of the day. Asian session started a few hours ago, and there's nothing really that has been happening. So I'll leave that alone, and I'll get back to that later in the week. Maybe we find something. GJ. Let's take a look at GJ. Oh, by the way, one thing I haven't done is I want to look at it on the 4 hour. Maybe I find a setup on the 4 hour. This is a little bit more clear. There is a possible RB pattern on the 4 hour, and this does kind of change the game. Like I said, on the daily, if you're looking at the chart from the daily perspective, it's a broader scope of things. There's no good setup, but maybe we could find something intra-week. This is what I like to do when I swing trade. So we did see that false breakout. We did see a move to the upside. I consider this move that just happened as of the end of the last week. At the end of last week, this move that just happened right here, this is what you call an RB pattern. The price pulled back about 33 pips and broke on up. I do expect at least 67 pips to the north side before a possible reversal or a stronger break. So I'm going to highlight that. Not as accurate right now, but I'm going to go back into my trading view later and mark it up. But right now, what we see is that price was going on up, and then there was a pullback earlier today, and it did stop that move out. So if I was in a long, I would have a trailing stop at lower than 63,350. And that trailing stop would have been activated, and I would have gotten out that trade maybe at 0.5R. Let's take a measurement so we can see exactly what's going on here. And I wanted to see exactly where I would be in and out. So that would have went up 1 hour before a trailing stop was hit. trailing stop would have been hit at break even. So that's obviously one thing that's happening. Now let's take a look at BTC because there's something going on right now. There's a possible 38 pips, which is the most recent wave size. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go take a look at this stop loss 12. Yeah, so right now we do have a possible northbound move on AUD USD. It was a strong buy on the screener. Well, not a strong buy, but it was a buy on the screener, so that does help. And I do see a possible TC long. So I'm going back against what I said. If you're looking at it from the broader scope, maybe if you only look at it from a daily perspective, yes, there's no moves yet, but this is the benefit of being able to swing trade multiple time frames. Is that I do use a daily chart for longer term, but I do use a 4 hour if I want to find like a quicker intra-week move, and that's what I'm seeing. So let's go into the 5 minute now. And we can see that price has been pretty bullish for the day. But like I said, there has not been a proper buy setup yet. And because of that, I'm not going to trade this because I need to see everything align. And if I don't see everything align, meaning the 4 hour needs to align with the 5 minute for me to find a good trigger, I'm not going to trade it. Maybe something else is happening. Maybe I'll find something tomorrow, or maybe it's just a false flag. In this case, it looks like a false flag because any time within the past 4 hours would have been the most optimal time to trade. And so if you go back 40, 50 pips or 40, 50 bars, you can see right around here, not really much has been happening. If you were in this earlier in the Asian session, all right, let a little bit of time go by, quick little break. And yeah, I just want to see earlier in the day, like I said, about 50 bars ago, 5 minute bars. So earlier in the day, we would have been right around here. But do I see a possible move that could have happened if I took a trade at Asian Open? Yes. There was a possible TC right around 4 hours ago. That's 405 over here. And yeah, that would have possibly worked out, but it would have been stopped out early. And then there was a little DP back to the upside. It all depends. There was another move right here at around 450 broker time. It did go up, but then there was another trailing stop. So for me to take a trade now based off of what I'm seeing now, which is a possible RB, it's not the wisest choice because I've seen multiple triggers failing within the same day. I see that on the 5 minute. I don't even want to touch it. It's just too faulty. And so I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'll get back to that maybe later in the week. Now let's take a look at NZD-CHF. We're going to do the same assessment. Look at the 4 hour. There's a possible northbound move, but the RB already took off, and there was a trigger that actually hit. A trailing stop would have been hit about 8 hours ago. And this is also something that I don't want to trade. I don't like holding through pullbacks, and I don't like trading things that are choppy. Same scenario as AUD USD. I'm going to leave it alone, come back to it later. GBP JPY, looking at the 4 hour, we do have a possible breakdown to the south side of this chart. Take a look at the current support we see right here, 181, 167. This is just an estimate. Price is going on a pretty strong bear run to the support, but we haven't seen a break of that support, and I do not like trading at support, in support, or near support. I like to see either a clear break beyond 180, 805 lows. So if you look at the chart, you can see 180, 805. I need to see a break below this area where my crosshair is hovering around. If we can break that area with a strong trend to the downside, a small pullback, and then a nice trigger, then I will take that trade. If that combination is not there, I'm going to avoid it. We could see a couple things happen right now. We could see a continuation of this bear rally. I'm going to highlight it right now so you can see. see a continuation of this bear run that's been going on since last week, or we could see a bounce from the support, kind of like what you've seen on AUD/USD. I'll go back to AUD/USD and show y'all that real quick. So we see how this bounced from support at 0.62843. That can happen on GJ as well. And you see price did rally to the downside really strong, and it bounced from that support. So just because it's a strong trend coming in doesn't mean it's going to continue that strong trend, because there's the context to take into consideration as well. And this context is not the greatest. As you can see, I flip it from screen to screen so you can see the same thing happens. Once you master your own price action, it becomes second nature to you. You'll be able to just flow through the charts like I am. You don't need to take a trade in order to be a great trader. Not trading is just as important as trading. I say this in most of my videos. You are actually taking a trade and pulling the trigger one time out of how many possible scenarios. There's thousands of scenarios that happen on a typical day, week, and month, depending on the time frame you're looking at, and you're only looking at specific setups that occur because you're looking for the highest probability. Therefore, you're sitting out over 99% of the time, and you're only pressing that buy and sell button less than 1% of the time that you're actually, the market is moving. And that means that not trading is just as important as trading. So let's flip on to USD CAD. I wanted to take a look at a couple more of these. Very strong on the daily. Recently, we hit some resistance. Highlight that right here. And yeah, we'll go from here. So very strong on the daily. We just hit March highs, and this is quarterly highs. I'm not looking at the daily on Forex pairs because it just takes too long and it's not as great for the probability. But looking at this, we do see a nice run. There was some conflict in this pair. I'm going to highlight that right now so y'all can see. So yes, we had a nice trend, but it was kind of whipsawy. We had the trend. It was about 60 points north, a little bit more than that. And then we had a pullback trigger. And this would have been a nice buy right around October 26th, 12 o'clock this broker time. This would have been a nice buy to the north side, but as you can see, price rallied just a bit, and trailing stop would have been hit a little bit under break even. I would have probably got out at minus 0.3 R if I did take that long. Once again, the time of the day that this happened, along with other factors, could have played a role in me actually sitting out of this pair. So just because a pattern occurs doesn't mean I would have took the setup. This is just, and trailing stop would have been hit. Now we have a nice potential runner on up for a possible TC. So far, it's been about 45 points, but I don't see a trigger on this. I'm going to leave this one alone. USD CAD, there's nothing for me. And that's it for the Forex pairs. I don't want to look across the entire markets. I don't want to waste time. I just like to look at my scanners and make a move based off of that. Now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily is actually pretty bullish, and I really like this. So I may actually start to deploy capital on Bitcoin, as it looks like there's a new breakout. There's a new rally, and this is going to be something I'm going to take a trade on. So you see, being patient and being selective can break opportunities like we see right now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a perfect buy setup. I love it. I'm going to look at my stop loss. I'm going to assess the trade, and I'm going to place an order in this video in front of y'all. We can see that there's some lows at 32 or 33,227, right around that area. That is going to be my hard stop. I'm going to place a stop loss right below that, and I'm going to look for a buy entry, but I'm going to put my buy entry based off of a 5-minute time frame entry so I can have the best trigger. So once this is all done, actually, I don't even need a 5-minute time frame. I can just market buy this however I want to do it. I'm probably going to look at a smaller time frame just to get a little bit more of an accurate entry. But my stop loss, my hard stop, is going to be below 33,277.40. So with this being said, now we're at the end of my video. It's been 24 minutes. And like I said, between 20 and 30-minute video. That's entire time I broke down several pairs. I did not find any good setups, but now I'm looking at something because I have the margin. I did not waste my time nor capital in something that was not lining up. Then I left it alone. Bitcoin, I do trade Bitcoin based off of the daily time frame because it's a crypto, so I kind of treat it like stocks. It takes longer to move, and it's not as it doesn't move the same as Forex. Forex I can use the 4 hour, but crypto and stocks I use the daily. So let's take a look. Let's look for an entry. I need to assess my risk, this account size, and everything. So just give me a moment while I calculate this, and I'll get right back to y'all. Okay, so you guys can see risking on this account X amount of risk. Just know that I always risk lower than 1% of my account size. So whatever this is, no matter what account size, I'm risking less than 1%. So I want to look for a long above daily highs today, and my stop loss is going to be right below that bar. As y'all can see, just a little bit above 1% of this specific account size that I'm trading. So again, I trade multiple accounts for multiple reasons. I may have some prop firms that I'm trading. I might have some personal accounts. So collectively, I'm going to do this across all of my accounts that I do crypto trading on. But this specific account, this is what I need to use. I need to modify this. So I'm going to go and click on pending order. And I'm going to, instead of doing, what's the volume on this? Wow, this is not even accurate. Okay, so I need to do a buy stop and pretty much 150 lot. That doesn't even make sense. 0.3. Let's do 0.34 just so I can see exactly what this is going to do. Same stop loss, same profit target. I just want to delete in order. This is how I do it really quick and rapidly. I'm going to delete this pending order. And I'm going to have the other one. And I'm just going to look and a little bit above still. So just go back into it. This is what I do. Just, mess around with it. I could do a lot size calculator too, but doing it for this video, it's not too difficult. Let's do 0.30 lot. Place the order. Sometimes I have a lot of canceled orders because, and it's totally fine to cancel orders if something does not align right. You don't want to just trade it just because you want to get a trade in. Remember what I said about just a minute ago. Wait for the line real quick. So we're going to delete this one. Delete the buy stop. This one right here. I want it to be a little bit below that area. So yeah, just about this is fine for me. And yeah, you're gonna see me setting up my charts like this. The reason why I said I want it to be above daily highs is because currently for the day it's pulling back, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it might start off like that, but we did have a nice significant breakout on the 24th, and we've just been moving sideways since then, which is why I also stated that the smaller time frames, you're going to have a lot of periods of chop. The larger ones on crypto, at least, you have those nice breakthroughs. And now you can see everything is aligned. Now we need to look and assess the profit target. So I'm going to just do a 2 to 1. All right, a 2.5 to 1, but I do like to look for at least 3R my risk. So how many points am I risking right here? I'm just going to draw a, measure this real quick. This is 166,707, 34 to 33. So, okay, so pretty much I'm going to bring this one on up. So you can see the risk right here, risking 5%. I want to go for 15%. A 15% rally is what I'm expecting. That's going to be about 40,179. And I could get out before that, but that's going to be like a hard profit. So just like how I have a hard stop, I'm going to have a hard profit. So 40,179. And I could always modify this along the way. We have 40,179. We see that it's up here. You see that my risk to reward, I'm going for at least 3 times what I just risked. And it's all set. I will utilize my trailing stop along the way. Judging by the past movements, we have a nice we have some nice triggers that had followed through. We have one right here on the 17th. Nice bull run right there. Broke out to the upside. There was a little pullback. You got in, you would have had a significant rally. I do expect this type of activity to continue. That's just kind of an indicator for me. And yeah, now I have a Bitcoin trade, and we're going to follow up with this pair throughout the rest of the week. I'm also going to post a trading view analysis on this pair, and I'm going to blog about it for the week. So this is the pre-phase. This is everything that I've done leading up to the blogs that I'm going to post. So you can see everything I do step by step. I don't just find something. I don't just find an idea off of a website or look at a different trader's trades. This is all personalized. This is what I do. So all of my charts, win or loss, you can see the origin of the trade. You can see why I get into it. You can see why I won't trade. The Forex market this week is not looking so great. I'm going to update that on my blog in just a moment. And the link will be below in the description box to this blog that I'm going to be writing. And yeah, I'm going to just mark this up. This is the start of my day. I call this my weekly warm up. So I make these videos publicly for you all. But personally, I do it for my own self. It's a great practice. It's great warming up. I have some day trading that is going to begin in a couple of hours when London opens. And yeah, this is just what I like to do. Like I said, it's just courtesy of me. This is just my notes. This is like homework. I could look at other pairs like US 30, but I don't want to bore y'all. US 30 looks pretty bearish, but there's automatically I can look at it and tell y'all there's no trigger on this. So I don't want to trade that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I could look at some stocks. If you want, I can definitely break down some stocks. I have a European stock right here, LVMH. Been pretty bearish, and the S&P 500 actually started a bear trend for the first time this year. So with that being said, I like to buy stocks. I don't like to short sell stocks, and this is something that I'm just looking at. So it's gonna be careful. That's it for today. I mean, y'all see, I have a Bitcoin trade, and I'm gonna just assess this. And if anything else pops up, I'll update y'all on my various platforms. And that's it. Y'all trade safe. Have a great week. And yeah, one trade. Let's see how it goes. Peace.